when it comes to Marvin Harrison Jr., I get that he is one of the most electric guys that we've seen at the wide receiver position. He would be, if I was taking a position other than quarterback and an edge player, Marvin Harrison Jr. would be the first guy that I would take. But when you look at the numbers, if we're going to, and you can't sit here and say, well, Marvin Harrison Jr. had an awful quarterback, or Marvin Harrison Jr. was the only good player on the team, therefore he was already getting double. You have Igbuka, you've got Stover, you had Kyle McCord at quarterback who threw for 3,200 yards. You have Fleming, who happens to be in the transfer portal now. I mean, Malik Neighbors, yeah, he's got Brian Thomas Jr., yeah, he's got Jaden Daniels and Mason Taylor, but I can make the exact same argument, right, for Malik Neighbors than I can Marvin Harrison Jr. with better numbers. With way better numbers. Malik has over 300 more receiving yards than Marvin Harrison Jr. does. They both have 14 touchdowns. They're both averaging about exactly the same yardage per catch. All right, but then you look at receptions. Malik's got 86. Marvin Harrison Jr. has got 67. I don't know, David, how you could argue that Malik Neighbors should not be there and Marvin Harrison Jr. should, outside of just name value
it's ridiculous.
And recognition.
I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is one of the best wide receivers in the country. He'll be drafted higher than Malik Neighbors. He's going to have a great NFL career. I understand all of that. But Malik Neighbors had a better season. Mm-hmm. So if Malik Neighbors had the name Marvin Harrison Jr. right now at LSU with those stats, he would be a Heisman Trophy finalist 100%. Right now. That's problematic to me. And, congratulations on the year Malik Neighbors had. And it's not just him either. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr., they had a whole core down there.
For sure. And then
you think it hurts Malik Neighbors when it comes to this having Jaden Daniels at quarterback? Because would it say more to Marvin Harrison, like even with the guys that are surrounding him and your quarterback? And Kyle had a good year, but we can all think Kyle's an okay quarterback. In my opinion, he was an okay quarterback. That him standing out the way he did says more about him with a mediocre quarterback.
No, because Jaden Daniels was running a lot too. That keeps the ball from going in the air. I mean, Kyle McCord wasn't really running. He was having to throw the ball up to those guys.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if we can say just Kyle McCord's just an okay quarterback. Like, I feel like this dude's, Kyle McCord's kind of getting the short end of the stick a little bit here. It's his first year as the starter. Like, it's your first year. Are we to the point now where if you're a first-year young quarterback and if you go 11-1 and you throw for 3,200 yards and you lose on the road by less than one score to the number one team in the country and that's your only loss, like, that's just okay? I don't want to live in that world. I don't care who's playing on your team. I think Kyle, I understand what Ryan Day and them are doing, and I'm always down for competition. But I don't think we should start labeling like Kyle McCord. Is he the greatest quarterback ever or in the country? No. But as a young guy, right, did he make... I have more respect for Kyle McCord after throwing that interception early against Michigan and the way he battled back to keep them in that game than I had going into that game. So I want to make sure with Kyle McCord, we don't just act like he's some run-of-the-mill average quarterback, but I don't know if y'all saw I think Ohio State is getting Cam Ward. I think they see an opportunity to get Cam Ward, and I get it if I'm Ryan Day. I get it 100%. You lost 3 in a row to Michigan. But did you see who Kyle McCord's meeting with today? Nebraska. That'd be a really nice pickup for Matt Rule.
Wow.
That'd be a very nice pickup for Matt Rule.
No, yeah. I mean, at this point, Bo's out of it. Can you have a legitimate argument for Michael Penix winning the Heisman? Like, if you have to argue for Michael Penix, if you were the suitcase, you were the lawyer for Michael Penix walking in, and you had to give the deal of Michael Penix winning the Heisman, how would you approach it?
Yeah. I mean, he was the odds-on front-runner a month ago. Mm-hmm. It's only 4 weeks. I mean, for sure, he's had an incredible season. It's just, I was having this conversation with a couple different people about Jaden Daniels, the fact that his stats have been propelled higher because of how historically bad the LSU defense is, right? Like, Jaden Daniels has been getting in these shootouts game after game, and that's what's been driving the numbers in a way that other good quarterbacks around the country haven't had to do. Yeah. When you talk about guys like a Carson Beck or Quinn Ewers or J.J. McCarthy, a lot of those guys aren't playing for the fourth quarter of their games. But to me, that's not a knock on Jaden Daniels. That's saying when there's a weakness on your team, you're the guy who has to go above and beyond each time, and every game. You're carrying the team. And plus, the stats just got to a point for Jaden Daniels where they were so ridiculous that I think now it's moved beyond a conversation.
We all know that Christmas is on the way. Okay? All right? And you want to make sure you're prepared. And what do green eggs and your Christmas dinner have in common? They both need ham to be complete. Okay, and our friends at Good Ranchers, they don't just have any ham. They have a spiral cut heritage pork masterpiece that you can get for free. That's exactly right. When you sign up for any Good Ranchers subscription, that's a $99 value that you get free in your first order. Simply subscribe to any box, and you'll get that free holiday ham included in the order. It's amazing. You'll get $25 off every order, a free gift in every third box, and free shipping on express delivery. So head on over to goodranchers.com, subscribe today with our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, to claim your free limited stock holiday ham before they sell out, but you better act fast. This offer won't last forever, and the Booster Club loves them some Good Ranchers. So order before December 11th for guaranteed delivery by Christmas. GoodRanchers.com. Use that code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, when you subscribe to get your free 10-pound holiday ham. Don't settle for the same old holiday fare. Elevate your feast with Good Ranchers this year. Good Ranchers, American meat delivered. You know, we talk about Heisman moments and things like that with Jaden Daniels. I mean, Jaden Daniels, really, even going back to the Florida State game, he didn't really have a bad game all year.
For 350 yards. And
I mean, you go to the Alabama game, he got hurt, but they were marching up and down the field against Bama. We saw that. To me, I think playing LSU may have been the best thing that could have happened to Alabama because they realized they may have to score 50, and we should maybe tailor the offense and the game plan to what Jalen Milroe does best, and we've seen what has happened since then. But when it comes down to Michael Penix, the numbers 100% with Jaden Daniels. Michael Penix and them won all their games, right? He was one of the front runners. They won all their games, but I don't think he had those breakout, unbelievable games that he would have had to have to get the numbers close enough to Jaden Daniels to say, all right, listen, Washington's undefeated. They won a tough Pac-12. He deserves this over Jaden. I mean, the numbers that Jaden Daniels put up were, EA Sports road to glory type numbers that you just don't see, especially in the SEC. And they went 9-3, and he really didn't have a bad game.
Well, we talk about criteria with the playoffs. What would be y'all's criteria for the Heisman? Right? Each box that needs to get checked in y'all's opinion.
Well, I think it's how you look at it. Is the Heisman Trophy the best player in the country, hands down, regardless of record, or is it the most valuable player on one of the best teams in the country that has Heisman moments and has the stats to back it up? To me, you have to have the numbers, number one, right? You have to have the numbers. I think you have to show up in big games, in big moments, and take advantage of opportunities. And then I think you have to have, I wouldn't say a winning record, David, just that you need to just be at least 6-6 or 7-5 or above. But I think 8 wins is like a plateau for me. I don't know why, but I just go to the 8-win mark. I just feel
wouldn't
like
even put a number of wins on it. The best players win. The best players win, right? But you could be the best player in the football country on a 6-6 team and you still be deserving of the Heisman. To me, it's about you had to have the best season. Right? Because too oftentimes we say well, just be the best football player. That's why you're seeing Marvin Harrison Jr. going to New York instead of Malik Neighbors, because they see him already as, oh, you're the best football player. Another example of that is like Brock Bowers. I think Brock Bowers might be the best football player in America.
I don't think that's crazy.
Did he have the best season this year? Another example, Caleb Williams, who won it last year, but not even a finalist this year. One of the best football players in the country, but you didn't have the best season, right? That's what, to me, you have to go throughout the entire year playing the best football week in and week out, not just based off a projection of how you're going to do it the next level.
Does any off-the-field stuff matter to you? Like how you how you carry yourself and
Sure.
Because we talk about Caleb Williams all the time, making fun of Max Duggan because he was crying, then he went and cried in his own mom's arms, doing this.
I don't think that's a disqualifier.
Okay, yeah. What would be in the realm? Because we talk about Jaden Daniels, and we talk about Jaden Daniels on the field, but we've had the pleasure to meet Jaden Daniels off the field, and the kid just lights up everywhere he goes, and he's enthusiastic with everything he does. One of my highlights from SEC Media Days this year. What's kind of y'all seeing off the field? Y'all have any boxes that need to get checked there?
I don't think you have to make the good works team of your conference or go out and do a certain number of hours of community service. Arrests, right? Obviously, as long as it's nothing that is, either bars you from playing or just puts you in an awful light. I don't have a certain criteria of, you need to do this amount of good things. It's just kind of just keeping your nose clean, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm down with any award or Major League Baseball Hall of Fame to have some sort of requirement based off integrity. I actually really, really like that. That's why I was so frustrated when that Heisman voter, whatever his name was, Greg Doyle or whatever, came out and said, well, J.J. McCarthy should not even be considered for the Heisman because Michigan is involved in some sort of investigation that still hasn't resolved itself or anything. But he defended Johnny Manziel for people not disqualifying Johnny Manziel for signing autographs or getting suspended and all that kind of stuff. That was a little weird to me.
Can we just go ahead and call the Heisman a quarterback award now, though? That's really what it is.
No.
That's really what it is.
Devonta Smith won.
Yeah, Devontae Smith won recently.
Will we see?
It's an offensive award, it's for sure.
Yeah, it's we could say that. I think it is truly turning into an absolute quarterback award. Everybody on YouTube, thanks for stopping by. If you haven't yet, make sure you check out our new movie, Lady Ballers. It was the top streaming movie in America on Rotten Tomatoes. We're unbelievably happy with the response. You can check that out on Daily Wire Plus, but also while you're here, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turn that notification bell on.